Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Preseason top 10 and where that kind of stands right now, because I think we were both in agreement that um, that Kansas should be the preseason number one, right? Does that change without Riley Kugel? And does that change for you with a team like Baylor getting Norchad Omier or a team like Alabama getting Cliff Amore?
Right now it's 1A and 1B to me. If Mark Sears comes back to Alabama, I think you're talking right now Kansas and Alabama, 1A and 1B, because what Alabama was able to do getting that rim protector in Big Cliff, that's something they didn't have this past year. So, again, I probably would go Kansas because they added offensively. They really, really shored up their weaknesses from this year. But defensively, they had their issues with Hunter. And they're going to have to figure that out next year, Rob. That's still going to be, I think, where Alabama got a lot better defensively. Obviously, Kansas got a lot better offensively. So, listen, if it's close, and this is no disrespect to Nate Oates, but Nate, you're not Bill Self. So if it's close, I'm going to go with the Hall of Fame head coach in Kansas slightly over Alabama. I'm going to go 1A Kansas, 1B Alabama today.
Yeah, today I think there's no question you have to go Kansas over Alabama because there's a certain percentage chance that Mark Sears does not come back, right? Like as of right now, I don't think that you can project Mark Sears on the roster with a 100% certainty. So you got to have Kansas number one over Alabama. I would have Iowa State and Houston and Baylor right there in the mix for the top five. I don't think we're giving enough credit to Gonzaga. And we kind of talked about this a little bit on last week's show, but excuse me, with Khalif Battle, Ryan Nemhard back, assuming they get Michael Ajayi to kind of be that like 3/4 guy, I really love what the Bulldogs have put together here. And then when you kind of get to the back end of the top 10, like I'm not ready to put Arizona in that conversation. I think Duke still needs to add another couple of role guys, another couple of pieces. And if I'm North Carolina, I want to get a big guy. My big question to you is, where do you have UConn right now? We've heard Dan Hurley say that he believes this is his most talented roster that he's ever had. And if you're looking strictly based off recruiting rankings, that probably is true. But I would also say there's a chance that you lose 5 guys to the NBA this year after losing 3 guys to the NBA 2 years ago. And that's just that talent exodus seems just so hard to overcome.
How many edibles do you think Dan ate in the weirdo room before he said that?
I don't think Dan Hurley would be an edibles kind of a guy. He strikes me more as someone that's going to be like ripping 2-foot bongs if he's gonna partake in marijuana. He seems like a 2-foot bong, like a shot in a beer kind of a guy. Like there's no half measures with him. He's not just going to take an edible to eat an edible.
I have UConn right now because of Hurley. I have them at 4. I have them at 4 in the country preseason.
Are you with Caravan or without Caravan?
I don't care. I just trust Hurley enough to figure this thing out. I mean, obviously, Caravan's going to be a big difference, right? We know with Caravan, shoot, I might move him to 1. I don't know. But even without Caravan, I have him at 4. To me,
all right, we got about, not to cut you off, we got about 15 seconds here. Give me real quick. Just roll through your preseason top 10. What you got?
Yeah, Kansas, Alabama, Iowa State, UConn, Houston, Carolina, Duke, Baylor, Creighton, Gonzaga. I have Creighton.
So the changes I would make, I would have Houston at 4. I would have Gonzaga at 5. I would have Baylor at 6. And then I'm kind of on the same track. I think UConn, North Carolina, Duke, you got to get in there back into the top 10. The Creighton one is interesting. I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I'm going to say Auburn, number 10 team in college basketball. They bring in JP Pegues. They bring back Janai Broome, who for my money is going to end up being a preseason first-team All-American. I like the Tigers to sneak into the top 10. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.